Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How many of you feel trapped by your own habits, held back by an invisible force that whispers, maybe tomorrow, maybe later? That voice, that hesitation, that pull toward comfort over greatness, this is what steals your dreams and keeps you from stepping into the life you deserve. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. You can keep waiting, letting life drift past you, or you can ignite the fire within, break through the chains of procrastination, and take control of your destiny. Imagine waking up every day energized, unstoppable, filled with a drive so fierce that laziness doesn't stand a chance. The truth is, it's not about motivation. It's about momentum. One action, one decision, one leap forward, and suddenly you are no longer a spectator of your life. You are the creator, the commander of your future. Today, I am going to show you how to shatter that inertia, how to rewire your habits, and how to claim the extraordinary life that's waiting for you. Because the moment you stop making excuses and start taking action, everything changes. And it starts right here, right now. Laziness is not just a harmless habit. It is a silent thief that steals the most precious resource you have, your life. Every moment spent avoiding action, every minute spent convincing yourself that it's okay to wait until tomorrow, chips away at your potential and delays the extraordinary results you are capable of achieving. Imagine a life where you consistently give in to comfort, where tasks are postponed, dreams are delayed, and goals are perpetually put on hold. That life may feel safe, it may feel easy, but it is quietly eroding the person you are meant to become. Laziness doesn't just waste time, it erodes confidence, it diminishes resilience, and it gradually rewires your brain to accept mediocrity as your normal. The more you give in, the easier it becomes to justify the excuses. I'll start next week. I don't have enough energy today. I'll do it later. Each of these statements may seem small, insignificant even, but over months and years, they accumulate into a life half-lived, opportunities missed, and regrets that cannot be erased. The cost of laziness is measured not only in unfinished projects or unmet goals, but in the lost experiences, the unearned victories, and the relationships you could have enriched by showing up fully. Laziness is a chain, and every time you choose comfort over action, you forge another link. The world does not wait for hesitation, it does not reward inactivity, and it does not honor the timid or the idle. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of fulfillment requires effort, courage, and persistence. To remain idle is to surrender your dreams to someone else's timeline, to allow the noise of excuses to dictate the rhythm of your life, and to slowly diminish the extraordinary potential that exists within you. Laziness disguises itself as rest, as deserved breaks, as a rational response to feeling overwhelmed, but in reality, it is a trap, a slow motion theft of your brilliance, your energy, and your power. When you start to recognize its cost, you begin to see life differently. You see that each day wasted, each moment ignored, is a deposit not made into the bank of your success. Laziness is the silent assassin of ambition, and the only way to reclaim what it takes from you is through decisive action, unrelenting focus, and an unwillingness to accept anything less than the fullest expression of your self-action is the antidote to laziness. And there is a power in doing something, anything right now, that cannot be overstated. So often we wait for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, the ultimate clarity, and in that waiting, life passes us by. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. The universe does not pause for preparation, and the world rewards those who move, those who step forward even when fear whispers in their ear. Taking immediate action breaks the chains of inertia. It shakes the cobwebs from your mind, and it sends a message to yourself that you are no longer willing to be a passive observer in your own life. Every time you procrastinate, you reinforce a pattern that tells your brain that hesitation is safe, that delay is acceptable, and that growth is optional. But the moment you act, even in small ways, you rewire your brain to prioritize movement, to seek momentum, and to crave the energy that comes from accomplishment. Action is magnetic. One step forward creates another. One decision to push through discomfort opens doors that seem closed, and one moment of courage ignites a chain reaction that can transform the trajectory of your entire life. It is not the grand gestures that matter most, but the willingness to start, to engage, and to refuse stagnation. When you take action immediately, you claim ownership of your life. You stop giving your energy to doubt, to fear, to hesitation, and instead channel it into creation, progress, and impact. Even when uncertainty is present, action cuts through the fog, revealing opportunities that waiting would have hidden. Every movement, every choice, every push forward builds confidence, strengthens discipline, and compounds over time into results that feel almost unstoppable. The paradox is that action creates clarity, not the other way around. You don't need to have all the answers, you don't need to feel completely ready, and you don't need permission from anyone else. You only need the willingness to start, to take that first step, to ignite the fire of momentum that laziness fears the most. Because once you act, once you step into the energy of doing, the inertia that has held you back begins to crumble, and suddenly what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. And what seemed distant becomes tangible, and what once felt like procrastination turns into unstoppable forward motion. Transformation does not happen in a single dramatic moment. It is born in the small, consistent choices you make day after day. Every great success, every extraordinary life, every peak performance is built on habits, not luck. Laziness tricks you into believing that only massive, overwhelming effort matters, that unless you are doing something grandiose, it is not worth your time. But the truth is, consistency compounds. A small action taken consistently, repeated over weeks, months, and years, has more power than 1,000 fleeting bursts of effort. Think of your life as a series of tiny deposits into a bank account of success. Skipping a day, giving in to procrastination, or surrendering to comfort is like withdrawing from that account. But every deliberate step, every disciplined choice, every action you take, even when it's inconvenient, is an investment that pays dividends far beyond what you can see in the moment. These small habits are not insignificant. They are the building blocks of your future. They shape your character, strengthen your willpower, and create momentum that propels you forward even when motivation fades. The person you are becoming is being sculpted by what you do today, right now, in these small moments. A single productive morning, a single focused hour, a single refusal to give in to laziness is a victory that compounds, and when repeated consistently, it becomes unstoppable. Massive transformation does not require perfection, it requires persistence, and persistence is rooted in habit. The mind and body adapt to what you practice daily, whether that is excellence or mediocrity, energy or inertia, progress or stagnation. The energy you bring to your habits matters even more than the size of the actions themselves. When you commit to consistency, you create a force that cannot be ignored, a momentum that carries you forward even on days when willpower wanes, and a structure that keeps laziness from taking hold. Habits are not about restriction, they are about liberation. They free you from the tyranny of decision fatigue, they give you direction when clarity feels distant, and they build an unshakable foundation for extraordinary results. And the beautiful part is that anyone can start anywhere at any time, because transformation does not require permission. It requires dedication to these small, powerful choices that over time redefine who you are and the life you are capable of living. Your mindset is the engine that drives everything you do, and your emotional energy is the fuel that powers that engine. Laziness is not simply a lack of effort. It is often the result of a mind that has accepted limitation, a heart that has surrendered to comfort, and an energy level that has been depleted by doubt, fear, and distraction. If you want to break free from inertia and take control of your life, you must first understand that how you think and how you feel directly shapes what you are capable of achieving. Every action you take is preceded by a thought and an emotion. When your mind is filled with excuses, when your emotions lean toward complacency, when fear or frustration dominates, your body follows and inaction becomes inevitable. But when you consciously choose empowering thoughts and cultivate high energy emotions like excitement, determination, and gratitude, your entire system shifts. Your body responds, your focus sharpens, and action becomes effortless. This is why people who consistently move toward their goals do not rely solely on discipline. They harness the synergy of a focused mind and a charged emotional state. Energy is contagious, even to yourself. And when you align what you feel with what you intend to do, resistance melts away and momentum builds. Laziness thrives on negativity, on self-doubt, on low energy, and on the constant chatter of I can't or later. But when you reprogram your mindset and elevate your emotional energy, you create a magnetic force that draws opportunity, creativity, and motivation into your life. It's not enough to think positively. You must feel the power of that thought, embody it, and let it radiate through every choice you make. Every time you cultivate a mindset of possibility, and every time you fuel yourself with unstoppable energy, you take a step away from laziness and a step toward mastery over your life. This alignment between thought, emotion, and action is what separates those who remain stuck from those who break free and live with purpose. When you understand that mindset shapes perception, perception shapes emotion, and emotion drives action, you unlock a system of power that allows you to do more, achieve more, and become more than you ever imagined. Your energy and mindset are not just internal, they manifest in everything you do. They influence your outcomes, and they determine whether you succumb to inaction or rise to take control. Because the truth is, when your mind and emotions are fully engaged, there is no room left for laziness, hesitation, or doubt to dictate your life. Life is not a rehearsal. It is happening right now in this exact moment. And every second that slips by is an opportunity you can never get back. Laziness convinces you that there is always more time, that tomorrow will be easier, that next week you will finally take action. And in doing so, it steals the vitality and potential of today. But the truth is, time does not wait and life does not pause for hesitation. Every day you spend postponing your dreams, ignoring your responsibilities, or surrendering to comfort is a day of your life that is lost forever, a day that cannot be reclaimed. There is an urgency that exists for those who are awake, those who refuse to accept mediocrity, and those who understand that. The stakes are nothing less than the life they are capable of creating. When you embrace this urgency, laziness becomes unbearable, and the drive to act becomes unstoppable. To live fully means to recognize that every moment is a chance to grow, to improve, to love, to create, and to contribute. It means refusing to let fear, distraction, or doubt dictate how you spend your most precious resource. When you own every moment, you take responsibility for your results, your happiness, and your success. You stop blaming circumstances, waiting for permission, or hoping for motivation to strike, and you step into a life of accountability, intensity, and purpose. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not necessarily the ones with more time, talent, or luck. They are the ones who understand the value of now, who refuse to waste a single day, and who turn urgency into relentless action. Living fully requires presence, awareness, and courage. It requires that you stop letting small comforts steal your potential and start making choices that honor your greatness. Every decision, every habit, every action you take in alignment with this urgency compounds into momentum, and momentum is the key that transforms dreams into reality. Laziness cannot survive when confronted with the energy of someone who understands that the clock is ticking, that life is finite, and that extraordinary outcomes are reserved for those who refuse to wait, refuse to settle, and refuse to let a single moment slip by without claiming it for their purpose. Urgency is not panic. It is clarity, focus, and the unwavering commitment to live boldly, act decisively, and seize the life that is waiting. Because the reality is that only when you embrace the urgency of the present do you unlock the full power of your potential.